this Range Rover I'm about to buy. If I go into the bank and I say I want $60,000, sure, just sign right here. Now, if I go into the bank the next day and I want $60,000 for this house I'm about to buy, y'all don't know. That's a different process because that's an asset. The Range Rover's a liability, so I can get that easy. But the asset that's gonna make me money, well, that's a whole different ballgame. Most people in the world don't understand how interest works. And the banks need you not to. And that's when the hoops start. But see, the problem is that there's big banks and then there's a little itty bitty house. Every big city that you go to, the biggest building in that city will probably be owned by a bank. And it's because of interest. Y'all don't know. That's a lot of money, that 1.5%, because it's over that 30-year term. And mortgages are front end heavy with the interest. You pay that first before you pay the principal and all those payments. So you're paying them the profit first before you even paid what you borrowed. 15 years in is when you start to pay more principal than interest. It's really robbery. Now, banks are big for a reason and they give you a long mortgage, 30 years, for a reason, because they know that within 7 years, most people will do something. Life ebbs and flows. It comes in phases. So most people aren't going to pay that balloon payment. And guess what happens if they don't? You get to do it all over again. You get another down payment, and then you get another good renter in there that's just starting over. So that's $31,000 right there that we made on cash flow. Our upfront profit was the $40,000 from the down payment. And I'm going to tell you how I didn't do any of that work or pay for any of it. The 5-year option payment, now that's what I wanted to get to. I didn't amateurize it because I didn't want to get all complicated, but in 5 years, the buyer will owe $133,000. Now, mind you, the one I took over 5 years before was $123,000. And then we've been paying that down the whole time. Well, my tenant buyer, my happy homeowner, has been paying that down the whole time. So now, that equity that you were talking about, my friend Alejandro, that's our retirement, brother. Think about it, man. Forget about borrowing against your asset or putting another lien on it or selling it. We want to own those assets. Our buyer is paying off this mortgage for us. So then once that debt is gone, guess what happens? We get all the monthly payment minus the taxes and insurance. And that's a whole other thing. That's called owner financing. So then we can be the bank for real for somebody, give them a mortgage. They get the deed, but they owe us. They can give us another down payment and make monthly mortgage payments to us. If they don't pay them, the mortgage payment, well, we foreclose like the bank does. The only difference is that when you call us, you're not going to talk to 7 or 8 or 9 different people telling you 7 or 8 or 9 different things about your life, man. Like, it's one of the 3 staples of survival: food and water, clothing, and shelter. So they get to talk to us, and we're humans. So we want you to keep the home. We're going to try to work it out with you. Can you pay some extra month above your monthly payment to catch up what you fell behind on? Whatever. We're going to try to figure it out first. That's not what we do. We actually do help people. That's the beautiful part about this. This is ethical capitalism. This is why I can be like the half crazy person that I am in the open, because it's real estate. Think about it. Wherever there are houses, you have a market. And there just so happens to be houses everywhere. It's a beautiful thing. So the back end profit, I didn't amortize it. It's actually more than that. I just didn't want to get all complicated. So the total on that's $55,469 that we would profit. I had to babysit grown men, which are contractors. You know, there's a long O in there on the contractor, but you know, I don't have to babysit grown men, because what I did was I partnered with a local contractor because they want to become investors, because they're fixing everybody else's houses up.